listeners. You are listening to the Online Income for Therapists podcast, where we talk about how you can get more freedom, flexibility, and flow in your work life and in your personal life, all by harnessing the power of the internet to take the skills and the passions that you already have and build a business online. You can serve more people, sacrifice less of your time, make bigger impacts, and even bigger incomes. Today we have a really special guest, one of our step-by-step grads. So step-by-step is a course that I teach for therapists to build an online therapy practice. And Kym Tolson is with us today. She graduated from step-by-step and she built an entirely online therapy practice by billing insurance. So grab your earphones and listen in.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
These interviews have been so fun. It's so neat to hear, like, where are you right now? How are things going?
It's got to be, because I'm in that step-by-step group and I just see everybody and their success. It's amazing. It's really inspirational.
Yeah, people are rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So now that I've done a few, we're kind of got in the groove of what to ask. So where I would like for us to start is tell me where you were before you started thinking about online therapy and what got you thinking that you wanted to transition.
Okay, so I was in my own practice for 10 years, just a little office that I rented, just a private practice. And I was doing that for basically 10 years, but I was vacationing a lot, like 8 weeks a year. Basically, nice. I was taking off. Yeah. Because I love to travel. That's really what I want to do. And then last year, I guess probably in October, I ran across your group and I was like, are you kidding me? You can actually like practice online and you know, travel and work. And I was so excited. So that's really what started it, is finding the online therapist group. And then I saw your course and I took it in November. And then, you know, it's gone from there.
Off to the races.
July 1st, I went all online. What'd you say?
I said it's off to the races.
Yeah. July 1st, I went all online. So I've been.
Holy heck.
Yeah.
So what did you need to decide to make the all online transition? Like, did you have a certain number of clients or a certain income or just the time at your job?
Really, for me, I needed to know that most of my clients would come with me because I didn't want to like abandon them, you know. So most of them did. Most of them were into it. There were maybe 5 that didn't want to do it. And then I needed to figure out how to bill insurance for telehealth because I didn't know how to do that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of the one thing that was holding me back a little bit, but I've totally figured that out now.
And you were billing insurance in your private practice, right?
I wasn't for about, I don't know, 9 years. I had billers that were doing it. And then I think I was telling you the story the other day. I figured out, I asked for a back balance report from the billers, and it turned out that they had not collected $12,000 in back balances.
Holy shit.
And
what does that mean exactly? So for somebody who's not familiar with telehealth, what does that mean? Or excuse me, with insurance?
Basically, people have deductibles, they have co-pays. Sometimes you think they're going to have coverage, but they don't have coverage, and you'll see them a couple times, and then all of a sudden it's like, oops, we thought you had coverage, but you don't. So normally somebody would just follow up on that, and like, you know, a biller would tell me, hey, actually we found out, you know, this person owes $300. We didn't know, but they did not communicate the stuff to me correctly. So I mean, some of it they did, but not everybody. So a lot fell through the cracks over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So basically when I got this back balance report, it was like all these clients and like, oh, this one owes $500, this one owes $600, this one owes $40, you know, so it was a lot of stuff like that I was shocked.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah, total nightmare. So
what did you do?
I guess it was August last year when I figured this out. I kind of freaked out and, you know, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't know how to, they weren't communicating very well. So I couldn't get them to like cooperate that well with like changing the system. So I basically decided I was going to just try to build the next new person that came in all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And, you know, I was like, all right, I think I've got this. I had to research, I had to figure out how to do it. And then right as I was getting it, they found out that I was sort of doing this off contract with them, and they actually fired me.
What?
Yeah, they fired me.
The billers made all those mistakes?
Billers fired me.
And then they fired you?
What
the hell? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like that. So I had, I probably had like 100 active clients that, on and off, what I'll call monthly or every other week. And so I totally freaked out. But, I was like, I'm never going to trust a biller again with my money. And plus I was paying them 9% for every claim that they processed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just for the whole month of September last year, I basically learned how to bill insurance. I got on Simple Practice. I set everybody up on my own. I learned about deductibles and co-insurances and co-pays and all these different insurance plans and the carve-outs and just everything. And now I'm billing all my clients. And then I took your course, so then I had to learn the telehealth on top of it. But I figured all this out in the last year.
That's incredible. That is a lot of transition and a lot of learning in 1 year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is your head recovering? I feel like
I'm starting to settle now that it's sinking in that, okay, I can totally bill for all these people. I can work from home or I can travel and work. And now it's like, this is awesome.
That is fantastic. I know a lot of people want to know down and dirty details. How many clients is full to you and how close are you to full?
I see 30 to 40 a week. So
wow, girl.
I know. So this week I'm taking Friday off. So I've only got I think I've got 22 people scheduled this week. But, I take off a lot too.
Holy cow. 30 to 40 a week. And are all of them telehealth?
Yeah, everybody. I'm completely online. And they love it. My clients love it. They were a little resistant in the beginning, but now they're like, I'm doing this for my car during my lunch break. This is
right. Awesome. Right. How did you help them work through that initial reluctance? Because I think that's part of what scares a lot of therapists away of unless my client's begging me for it, I feel hesitant to put it out there. How did you do it?
I mean, really, I explain my story because most of my clients know that I love to travel because they'll even say to me, when's your next trip, Kym? Because, it's literally every other month I'm taking a trip somewhere. So it's kind of a thing already.
Yeah.
So I kind of just explained my story a little bit. Just, you guys know I love to travel, and I basically figured out that I can work and travel and, kind of see the world. And they sort of bought into the dream with me a little bit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's cool. So now when they, I'll log on, this is my home office, but I'll log on and be, somewhere like that. And they'll be like, where are you? Oh my gosh. And we'll have a little talk about that. And then, it's nice.
That's such cool modeling.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm living a really neat life and you can too. That's
exactly
so cool. That's so cool. That's interesting. I just recently changed my practice so that 1 time a month, so 1 week a month, I don't do clinical work at all. And it's my week to do content for my other side of my business and all of that stuff. I just started it 2 or 3 months ago, and my clients are already was it a productive week?
Exactly.
I'm yeah, it was. Thanks. How's your week?
Exactly.
That's really cool. So of that 30 to 40, because people are going to ask, so I want to get this out there for them.
Sure.
30 to 40, how many of those came with you from your practice and how many are new people? And how the hell did you get the new people?
I'd say right now, actively, because I left July 1st, I'd say 80% are online and the rest have sort of graduated out. I don't know, last week I got 5 new clients. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you mean 80% are from your previous practice and then 20% are new? Okay.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. And I know in the course we have all of those scripts and templates about what to say to transition your in-person clients to online. In addition to having them kind of you being very transparent and then buying into the dream, was there anything else that you could offer the folks listening that would be a helpful tip about when you're talking to your current in-person clients and you're moving online? What was something that people need to know to do that successfully?
I think it was somebody, I think it was in the course that you talked about just meeting the client where they are. If they're not comfortable with it, if they're not ready, just being really like loving around that and, talking about the resistance a little bit, but then just helping them move on if they want to, just not having any kind of resistance about it with the client. So if they were, reluctant, I would talk about that. If they were like, I just don't want to do it, I helped them find a therapist, So I thought that was helpful in the course to hear that, you could approach it that way and just be fine with it. Like, it's fine. You can go find somebody else and I'll help you,
Yeah. That non-attachment. Like, I want what's best for you.
Exactly.
And I'm not attached to that having to be me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you have people who really struggled with like grief or loss around, they didn't want to do telehealth, but didn't want to lose you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. There were a couple, because there was one client that she could only meet in her car, and where she had to meet, the Wi-Fi was terrible. So every time we met, it just wasn't a good connection. I could just feel it. It was just not working. And I mean, we had a termination session in her car with the bad Wi-Fi, and she was crying, and I was crying because I've been seeing her for years. It just wasn't working. So
yeah, that's hard.
A couple of those for sure.
Yeah. How did you keep moving forward despite that? Like that's hard. That's hard to hold, but you kept pushing forward. How'd you do it?
I trust that the universe is working the way it's supposed to, first of all, so I don't put too much into like, oh gosh, I'm abandoning her or this or that. And I just, know that if I'm following my dream and being true to myself, it's going to be fine. And they're going to be fine. They'll find somebody else with them. And
that's beautiful.
That's kind of what I told myself.
You've done a whole lot of, you've just done a whole lot of work. Let's start there. But the fact that you have figured out from using a biller, knowing nothing about insurance, to how to bill insurance successfully is pretty miraculous. And, Carol O'Sabin did a lesson for us in the course about insurance and building your practice on insurance, which she's done successfully.
Yeah.
And now this next time you're contributing a lesson for us about billing insurance and all of that good stuff. What are a few of the things that people have the most fear around with choosing to use insurance to build their practice?
Oh gosh. I think most people are afraid that the insurance company is going to come and try to take the money back.
Yeah, it's me. I don't want to mess up, and I don't want them to take my money.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want to mess up, and I don't want them to come take my money.
Yeah.
So, those are the biggest things. But I've put a lot of policies in place. So like every policy document I have says something about, Kym Tolson is doing you a favor by checking your benefits, and I just want to let you know it may not cover even if they say it's going to, and you will be responsible for the cost of the session if for some reason they stop paying. So I put that in every single document.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be really clear about that. And then when I call to check the benefits, I document that really well. I always get like a call reference number. So I can call back and say, no, you actually told me it covered. And I've got a call right here that
wow.
Says that you covered. And sometimes that works. I've got we'll talk about the course later, but I recorded some calls like that so people could hear how they go. Yeah.
You're so smart. You're so smart. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit because, I've seen your worksheet that helps people to choose like, all right, how do I know if taking insurance is right for me? Which I think is such a smart, and you guys can get that for free. It's a free worksheet. We'll link to it when we run this video. But it helps you to kind of go through whether or not it's a good idea for you. And then walk us through what the next steps are. So if somebody were to get that freebie and they're like, oh my gosh, insurance is definitely for me, but I'm overwhelmed. What's the next thing that you offer?
Well, the course that I created, it's literally a step-by-step. First it started out with telehealth. Now it's like basically your entire private practice. So anybody that has no idea about insurance can literally take this course and start from the very beginning and go all the way through to the very end. Even to like at the very end, there's like, specific case studies that are really complicated that I put in there to help explain really complicated situations. But the first thing you'd want to do is like sign up for CAQH, which is this, it's like a database where you put all your information in, your resume and everything. And then the insurance companies, once you try to get credentialed, they will come in and pull your data from there. So you don't have to like spend a lot of time filling out everything about yourself across all the insurance companies.
That's smart. That's smart. And so if people were to get the worksheet and they decide insurance is for them, is your course the next step for them? They're like, yes, insurance is the thing. And then they go and purchase your course.
They can take the course. I also have another, we can drop this link too if you want. I also have another, it's a free training I did. It's like a Loom training that gets a little more detailed about what to do once you decide you want to take insurance. But yeah, after that, if you're not sure what to do or where to go, I think that's a good place to start because, you know, like I said, it starts from the very beginning and walks you all the way through anything you could have a question about. So.
Dude, I would absolutely have to have that. If I'm billing insurance, I'm just so afraid of getting in trouble or screwing it up. And and they're so detail oriented. Like even as an out of network provider, I've had conversations with the insurance company that I did not want to have. And they're asking me very specific nitty gritty questions. And I've said to them like, listen, I'm not your client. Like the client is your client. And they said, well, you can see I get worked up about this. They said, well, you understand that we can look at your notes and that if they're not documented the way that we accept them, then your client won't get their money.
Right.
And initially I was like, shit, I need to start writing my notes differently. And then I was like, no, I am not going to do that. I've let the client know they may cover you, they may not. Like I'm an out of network provider. I'm not adjusting my notes for this. So it just is so anxiety provoking that if I didn't have a step-by-step guide, there'd be no way for me to do it. No way.
And the thing a lot of people don't know about like filing claims and stuff, if it gets denied, it's not a big deal. Like you can totally refile the claim with the correction, or you can go research, like, because they'll give you a reason they denied it. Then you just go back and fix it if it's not, you know, like, oh, this person actually doesn't have coverage. But if it's something like you used the wrong code or, you know, you just fix it and resubmit it. It's really not that big of a deal.
You just made my shoulders drop. Like, okay.
I saw that.
Okay. So given your experience with billers, because and how bad that experience was.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that therapists use billers at all? Like if a therapist is listening, they're like, I want to take insurance, but I don't want to do all the billing. What's your recommendation?
I really don't recommend it. I mean, they're anywhere from, I've seen 5% to almost 12% per claim, per what they recover per claim. It's easy once you get it all set up. It's the setting it up that can be a little bit daunting and sort of that steep learning curve in the beginning. But after that, I just click a button.
And that's it.
It's done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so in the course, do you walk people through how to set it up in the beginning?
Absolutely.
And are you talking about in their EHR and in their paperwork?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. So you guys, I've known about this course, but I guess I didn't know all the details that were in this course, and I'm going to have to ask a few more questions to get more. But what Kym has agreed to do as a very, very kind gesture for fellow step-by-steppers is to give us a big-ass discount on the course. So if you're hearing this and you're like, I need that course, you should go get it. But if you're going to be in step-by-step, pause a hot minute so that we can get you the discount code and you can get in step-by-step and you can get the discount for Kym's course as well. We do cover a little bit about insurance, but we don't cover you how to set up the whole damn thing from start to finish. You're not going to get that in the course, which is, I mean, I think that you really filled a need that wasn't being met in the course by creating this.
Yeah, that's what I thought, you know, because I love the course. And, you know, the one thing I was like, oh, this doesn't talk much about how to do it if you want to be in private practice and bill insurance. Like, I think there's a need for a course. And then I just started first, like I said, first I was just going to do like the telehealth part, but now it's evolved into this just like the whole thing. because it's like, well, you have to add this and you have to add this, and now it's just everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that with my informed consent too. I'm like, okay, so if I just add the things for telehealth, it doesn't include all the things. I need to include all the things. So now it works for whatever kind of practice you want to have.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So let's go back to talking about step-by-step for a hot minute.
Okay.
What did you get out of the course that you feel like really helped you the most to build your own practice?
Well, I think obviously all the information was amazing. The notebook of awesome. That was great. I have my notebook of awesome. There was a lot of stuff I didn't know about that, being in private practice, I hadn't done. So it kind of, I kind of did my private practice. I just decided to do it, but I didn't really set much up. So taking that course, I was like, oh, I'm actually I don't have BAAs and, all this other stuff that is in that notebook of awesome. I didn't have any of that really. So it helped me to get a lot more organized. But I also like the weekly meetings with everybody, where we just all popped in and we were like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And, and you were there and you helped coach us along. So that was really helpful. But the relationships I built out of the course was great. A few of us started our own little mini Facebook support group, and it's, we meet every other week, and it's awesome.
I love it. I love it because it does feel like we get close and we get to know each other, and we get to know what our buttons are and what we're struggling with and how to get over the hurdles and going over each other's copy. And I remember several sessions where we're going over people's copies and I'm tearing up because it's just so good. And then now I'm going to get emotional just to see what you guys are all doing in your practice. And then also with these side hustles, in addition to your practice, it's incredible. It's incredible. It really is. It's really awesome to watch.
Yeah, I feel like watching everybody in the after step-by-step group that we're in, everybody, like you said, they post their, hey, what do you think about this website page? And what do you think about this? Should I change to this? And everybody just chimes in, and it's a great community.
Yeah, it really is. It is. And as OTG has gotten bigger and bigger, it's harder to get that one-on-one connection.
Yeah.
And somebody will put up their Psychology Today profile and people may or may not look at it. The feedback is going to be pretty general. But in the step-by-step community, it's small enough that we're like, okay, let's see, what's Kym doing there? Like, no, girl, change that second sentence. That doesn't reflect who you are, It's really, really cool.
Yeah. So that to me was an added bonus that's going to be there forever,
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool to hear. So as a very successful online therapy practice owner and life haver, because that's another part of what this is about, what are some little pearls of wisdom that you would offer to people in OTG who are thinking maybe I want to do this online therapy thing?
Just do it. Just start small with a couple of clients that might seem interested in it to see how you like it.
Yeah.
The freedom it gives me is amazing. I don't know, last month I went to my sister's who lives, 2 hours away. My 2 nephews are there. I went there for an entire week and I was able to work and hang out with them in the evenings and swim in the pool. And, if I had a client cancel, I could just go out and swim with them or play with them. And it's just awesome. It's not something I would have been able to do before this.
Yep. My husband we both kind of forgot that it was our anniversary. And then we last minute remembered it. And he was going on a fishing trip with a buddy across the state. And we just were able to be like, hey, we should just get an Airbnb and stay an extra couple days. And then that can be our anniversary trip. You'll fish with him the first day, then he leaves. And then here we are in this beautiful place. And I didn't have to do anything. I have a couple people scheduled. He's fishing anyway. So what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Just have the internet and go. It's incredible.
It really is. Yeah.
And it's easy to take it for granted. I've been doing this for several years now. And so, I used to talk a lot about the freedom and the flexibility of it, but now I'm so accustomed to it that sometimes I forget how different my life was when I was working in a community agency. Just even getting up to meet with you, I got up at 8:20. I might look like it, but I got up at 8:20. and back in the day, like if I had clients at 9, well, first of all, I had clients at 8 a.m. Let's be real.
Exactly.
And I had them an hour and a half away from my house. So I was getting up at freaking 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
It
Oh my gosh.
sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. In retrospect, yeah. How is your income? So last kind of nitty gritty, I won't push hard on this to share what you want to share, but I think a lot of people are afraid that they're not going to be able to make it happen, first of all, and you've clearly blown that out of the water.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But then they're afraid, like, am I really going to be able to cover my bills and, rely on an income from an online therapy practice? Mm-hmm. So where are you with that?
Well, right now, I looked at my QuickBooks before I got on here, and the last couple of months, I've made the exact same amount of money that I was making this time last year. So,
wow.
I guess it's okay to say last year, I made 120, and after taxes and expenses and all that, I think I took home like 88. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I actually crunched some numbers before we met because I wanted to just point out, like, I hadn't even realized this, but when I was working in the office, let me see, the biller was costing me $12,000 a year. Rent was costing me $6,300 a year. Gas to get to and from work was $1,500 a year.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's $19,800 a year. So I'm saving $1,500 a month working online.
Holy shit! I love number crunchers.
I know. I was like, wow. And then I just like calculated what I'm spending now, and it's basically I just got a new website. That's $590 a year. Simple Practice is $564 a year. Internet is $70. So I'm spending $166 a month working from home.
Oh my God. Let's just revisit. Holy shit. 1,500 versus what's the number now?
166.
Wow. So you can see less clients a month and still make the same income. Absolutely. Or the same number of clients and make a shit ton more money. We're talking, did you say 19,000 a year?
Yeah, 19,800.
So 20 grand a year extra in your pocket by moving your practice online.
Exactly.
That's a lot more traveling, baby.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Wow. Damn, Kym. I'm so happy for you. You are just living the dream, and you made it happen so quickly. Like, this happened within a year.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year.
And you created a side hustle.
Yeah.
We might be related.
Maybe.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you feel like it would be important or helpful for OTGers to hear?
I guess the message I just want people to hear is just give it a try, and just a little like side note, like the whole picture of our dream is we're basically selling everything. So by February of next year, we plan to be living in Airbnbs just around the world. I know. My boyfriend's house is in the market right now. And as soon as that sells, we're going to be getting ready to go.
Wow, Kym.
I know. I'm so excited.
I just want to squeeze you, and I'm coming to stay at an Airbnb with you. That's going to be part of the plan.
I looked at Naples and Jupiter, so you might see us. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. That's so amazing.
Thank you. I'm excited.
I mean, how did you come to the place where you felt like, yeah, we're going to go big. We're going after this?
Well, it's a funny story. I was in Mexico, and a girlfriend of mine from high school lives there in Playa del Carmen, and she was doing something. I don't know. I messaged her and said, hey, you want to get together? And we got together, and we sat with her for about 3 hours, and she talked about living in Playa del Carmen, and she lives there 6 months, and she lives in Maine and Colorado and all these different places. I was like, that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And that's right around the online course stuff. So I was like, it sort of evolved that way.
Wow. The universe was pulling the strings together. That is so cool. Sometimes I just get super honest here. Sometimes I worry or wonder, like, am I really doing anything that is helpful, or am I just like putting a bunch of crap out there? But then when I feel like people have happened to stumble upon the course at the time when they were looking for a way to free up their lives, and probably you would have stumbled on 20 other ideas if you hadn't stumbled on this one. You were heading down this path.
Yeah.
But The fact that my little course was like one of the stepping stones is super cool. It's super cool.
Yeah, I remember being in the hotel room after we met with her, seeing your course and saying to my boyfriend, should I sign up for this? Should I sign up for this course? And he was like, go ahead. So, I mean, it all happened just like that, really.
That is insane. And now you're doing that for other people with your course. I mean, that's exactly what you're enabling people to do, because the insurance stuff is just really overwhelming in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that you can give them the exactly how to do it so that they don't have to worry that they're going to do it wrong.
Exactly.
That's
huge. What I hope to do, because I want people to live this life. Like, I think it's so exciting, you know.
Yeah.
And here in my area, I can't do private pay. Like, if you look on Psychology Today, everybody takes insurance, you know. So then if you see a private pay person, you know,
right,
people want to use their insurance around here, you know. So
yeah. Thank you so much for giving us the deal to the course. Like, that's so cool. And it helps like flesh out the very last piece of the course that I really wouldn't have known how to teach because I've not done insurance. So I really appreciate it. And that you're giving it at a discount is really, really gracious.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for everything.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, Shelly, and she's in like friggin' Italy or somewhere, and you know, like messaging from her hotel room, and oh, life is good. Life is good.
It is. It's amazing.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to close it out. And when I put this up in the group, I might also put it up in the podcast. I'll chat with you about it to make sure it's okay with you.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We'll make sure to link to all of your stuff so that people can check it out.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, you guys, wasn't that so good? I can't even stand it. I'm so excited for Kym and all of our step-by-step grads. They are just really making it happen. My little heart is full. If you have other questions, make sure that you ask them in the online therapist group. We're happy to help you over there. If you're interested in the course, you can learn more by going into the show notes and clicking the button that says course. Or if you don't want to check out the show notes, you can always just go into the online therapist group and click on the banner at the top of the page, and you'll find a link to learn more about the course. What a kick-ass feeling it is to get to help people get closer to their dreams. Man, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you are chasing down and catching your own dreams.